So you're feeling the squeeze of tightening budgets, you're struggling to make a big marketing impact with such limited resources. That means you're in the right place here, because today we're going to step you through an approach to actually help get your marketing back on track on a tight budget. It's what we call audience-centric marketing. And in today's episode, what we're going to cover is how you can truly understand your audience, and also learning why spreading yourself so thin could be a recipe for disaster, and how you can actually focus on what is really working for your business by focusing on that true customer that you are trying to reach. And no matter where you're at in your business journey, I'm confident that you're going to walk away with some actionable insights that you can actually implement and add to your marketing strategy right away. So if we haven't met, my name is Jordan McFadgen. I'm from Done by 9. We're a strategic marketing company, and this is the Marketing Clarity Through the Clutter series. And this is designed to help you try and navigate this cluttered world of marketing and challenge you to move away from random acts of marketing towards planning and intentional marketing strategy. And look, the reason that we've put together this audio series as well is that now more than ever, we're starting to see businesses need help with trying to stay ahead of the curve, or manage or find marketing budgets and just build their brands in these tough economic times. It can feel really overwhelming, especially in these times, but also because we are obviously in this real fast-paced digital landscape that we're all facing as well. And in each of the episodes of this series, we want to dive into some modern business challenges that businesses are having every day. We're talking with businesses every day that are facing some of the challenges that we're facing here. And what I want to try to do is offer you some straightforward solutions, whether you're a seasoned marketing pro that needs to kind of go back to the start and have a look at some of these marketing basics for your brand, or you're a business owner looking to actually maximize the impact of your marketing, or you're just kind of starting out, or you want to guide your team, then you're in the right place. And as mentioned in the intro of this episode, today we're going to dive into a really relevant topic, and it's really relevant in today's economic climate, because we want to try and look at how you can be maximizing your marketing impact, especially when your budgets are looking quite tight. Because again, we're talking daily with business owners and marketing teams, and how businesses are feeling the squeeze at the moment. There's conversations about marketing budgets being absolutely slashed, but you're still expected to deliver the same results that you've always been needing to in the past. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, it's a familiar story. We've been here before as well. So if we think about my business, my brand that we've built with Done by 9, this was brand new when COVID hit in March 2020. At the time, we had little to no resources. We had little to no cash available. But what this did is it actually forced us to think about how we can get more creative with our marketing, more strategic, more deliberate, to make sure that we were talking to a very particular niche audience, a niche audience of people who would be interested to learn more about our business and about our service and about the services that we're actually able to provide business owners. And you know what? Cash is tight again right now. And it means that there is that temptation going around at the moment to either cut back on spending and kind of conserve cash, or to stop spending altogether, or to stop looking at your resources and what resources you're putting into your marketing. And as a marketer, obviously, it's natural for me to tell you and to sit here right now and say that shouldn't be the case. And this obviously isn't the way to approach things. But honestly, I feel as though that is the case. I always say that a tighter marketing budget and smaller resources do allow a better opportunity for you to be a bit more strategic and a bit more deliberate with your marketing and how you market yourselves. It's always a way to force companies to be more strategic about their spending. Focus on channels that offer the highest return on investment, for example. And here's another point I need you to think about. A tight budget doesn't mean that you can't have a big impact as well, because having a tighter budget can actually push you to really get creative and focus more and more on your marketing efforts. And ultimately, to get more strategic and better with your marketing, there is a consistent key that you need to remember. And that's what we want to focus on today. And that's to understand your audience or your customer like you've never understood them before. Once you get that right, then the rest of the marketing is just going to fall into place directly after that. And that's why, again, in this episode, I'm going to take you through how an audience-centric marketing can actually help you make the most of your resources and actually drive real results, even if budgets are a bit tight. So here's a bit of a roundup of some of the key action points and things that we're going to cover in today's episode. First, we're going to take a deep dive into understanding your audience. We'll discuss how to tailor your content to your audience and to connect them to try and stop their scroll, essentially, as they're going through different social platforms or on Google search. We're going to focus on your proven channels as well, because this isn't the time to do too much testing. We're going to explore different strategies for capturing and retaining attention. And finally, we'll cover some cost-effective strategies for audience engagement as well, so that you can appear consistent in the eyes of your audience. So let's start by having a look and diving deep into understanding your audience, because this really is the foundation of any effective marketing strategy, especially when resources are feeling a little bit limited right now. You need to have that deep understanding of your audience. And look, I think I mentioned this in every podcast, and we write this in every blog that we post on our website, that it always has this element included to it, because every strategy session that our team runs with a new client as well is focusing on this core component. And this goes beyond just basic demographics. What I really want you to do here is really get into your customers' minds and really delve deep into exactly who that customer is. And we do this by creating detailed buyer personas. Now, these are literally semi-fictional representations of your ideal customer. It can be based on real data. You can do some guessing. You can do a bit of research about your customer. Find out things like their demographics, their behavior patterns, their motivations, their goals in life as well. Why do they need to see your product or your service? What are you specifically going to be able to offer them? So that's what I want to walk you through, is how we create an accurate buyer persona step by step. And the first step, it actually sounds a little bit silly, but we always get a really good response when we do this. And it always is starting by giving your personas an actual name. Even going a bit further and finding some stock imagery of what that person actually looks like. It's actually going to give you a picture about who this person is that you're trying to reach. So when we're setting up a new campaign, you're signing off a social media schedule, or you're reviewing your latest email, you can review it alongside that name and that photo and that persona that you're creating. Trust me, it really does help to ensure that you're truly in the mind of your prospective customer, and you're kind of going through that email and that social media schedule in the eyes of that person, and making sure that the content's actually going to resonate with them. I have this documented and bookmarked on my computer, so I can frequent it often as possible as well. So let's just break down the different aspects that we need to look at with the customer persona. Obviously, we're going to move past just their name and just an image of what they look like. So first, you need to start with the demographics. This is the basic stuff. You know, how old are they? What's their marital status? Are they married? Are they single? What's their income? Their education levels? Are they educated? Are they not educated? Not only is these type of things going to help you build a picture of this person's life and their pain points and their desires, but it's also crucial because platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, they're actually going to ask you for this information when you are building an ad campaign. If you can feed this type of data to those companies as you're building your campaigns and as you're preparing your content, this is actually the things that they are asking for. The next thing I want you to do is consider their values. And this is where you need to step into their world a little bit. You know, I want you to think about what they care about right now. Do they have strong feelings about current issues in the world? Are they political? Are they right into their politics? Are they not so much into politics, but they are more interested in, I don't know, high fashion? Is family one of their core values? I really want you to step through what are those core things that help them build their day. Is it work? Is it entrepreneurship? What are those core values? And doing this research is going to help, again, with that interest-based targeting. It's crucial information that's going to help you with your content creation as well. It's going to help you think about what message is actually going to resonate with this audience, and it's going to allow you to do and create a better content that's going to relate directly to them with less testing involved as well. Then I want you to have a think about their daily routine. What does a day in their life actually look like? What times can and should you be trying to reach them? What are the most rewarding and also frustrating moments of their day? Because I want you to consider that timing can literally be everything. Sending an email, posting an Instagram story, this type of information that you're building with your persona is going to help with your content timing. And also this big one as well is relevance. Is your message and content relevant to the current time of day of your audience at that particular moment? Whether you're looking for an outlet or a desire, or maybe they're facing a challenge or pain point at that particular day or time that they need help solving. Getting that timing right is crucial to make sure that you can kind of make sure that you're getting those products and services and your message in front of those people at those times as well. The next thing I want you to think about is identifying what those problems are, and also identifying and trying to build out their purchasing story. So these are some of the questions that I'd be asking myself. Like, what issues are they going to face in their personal and work lives? How are they trying to deal with these different problems that they're facing? Is your product and service actually servicing that pain point, or answering one of their desires to make their life a bit easier and a bit better? And I'll make sure you consider your audience's purchasing story as you work through these pain points and these desires as well, because how will they ultimately purchase from you? What does that journey actually look like? Now, many people refer to this as like a funnel, for example. But what I want you to do in this exercise is just to try and encourage yourself to think about your audience and potential customers as a person, as people, and not just a number simply trying to move down a pretend funnel. Focus on people and try and think about their journey and their discovery of your business, your product, and your service. And what this is going to do, if you can put yourself into this mindset, is really going to help you craft content that addresses their issues and shows how your product or service can actually help them, or how your product or service will help satisfy their current desires as well. And as mentioned above, we can use lots of these different methods to gather this information. And I really want you to consider analyzing your existing customer data. And this is where you can use tools like Google Analytics. Have a look at your email open rates, your social media insights. All of those things are really valuable when you're trying to build these customer personas. Also, conduct customer interviews and surveys. This can actually be a really good way to learn more about your customer. Chat with existing customers about how they actually found you and why they ended up purchasing from you. We've even reached out and interviewed customers who would love to have as customers one day. We found out more about their personas, and we tried to find out about their desires and their pain points, so that we could try and create content that would actually reach and speak to them as well. Now, once you've got a clear picture of your audience, it's then time to actually sit down and create content that is truly then going to resonate with them. And this is where the buyer persona that we've just sat down and worked through together is really going to come into play. And this is why that first step is so critical. So you want to create messaging that's actually going to resonate and speak your audience's language, essentially. So use the terms that they use when you're building your messaging. Address the problems that they're facing. Show how you can actually help them achieve their goals. Show them you understand their desires. You understand their lifelong ambitions, and explain how your product and service is actually going to help them get there. Your content should feel like it is specifically written for them. When we work with a new client, we take a customer persona first, and then we start working through the key messaging and the unique selling points with the client as the next stage as well. And I'll encourage you to do this exercise even now. Try and write down and think about those 5 to 10 unique points about what you can offer your audience better than anyone else can be. It's kind of like building and crafting your elevator pitch. You're hopping in an elevator with someone and you've got that 5 seconds to explain exactly what you do. But I don't want you to go and just stop at, we offer engineering services, for example. Go deeper than that. There are lots of companies that work in engineering, for example. But what you need to be thinking about now is precisely what your engineering company is going to be doing better than all of your competition. Have a think about it. Is it pricing transparency? Maybe you're using a unique product to deliver your service. Are you using a unique way to deliver your product? Try and think about all those different things about what you are doing better than anyone else in your industry. And those are your uniques. Those are the backbone of all your messaging and all the content that you need to start developing and showing the world and getting that out in front of people as well. And we need to consider where you'll use these unique selling points, because that's also crucial. Choosing the right formats and the right channels is really crucial to make sure that the messaging is going to be actually seen by your target persona and your target audience. It would help if you had these in your customer's purchasing story that we discussed earlier, but if not, I'd encourage you to answer these questions. Return to that purchasing story and then start filling in the blanks. And those questions are, based on your customer persona, where does your audience hang out online? What type of content do they prefer? Are they watching videos? Are they downloading a PDF? Are they listening to audio? How are they consuming content right now? Some audiences may love an in-depth blog post, while others may prefer like a quick video tip on social media, or maybe a little bit of both. But use your audience insights and your persona to guide those decisions. And then it will come down to doing a bit of testing, remembering that there is no silver bullet in any of this marketing. So once you test your messaging to your direct audience, then ask for feedback. Review your data to ensure the content resonates with the audience, and then that's going to help you move closer to your overall marketing goals as well. You'll then want to consider balancing your evergreen and your topical content on top of that. So here's a bit of a breakdown. Evergreen content is going to provide you long-term value and continues to be relevant over time. Well, that topical content is going to help you capitalize on current trends and events while supporting your brand. And a bit of a mix of both is going to help you maintain consistent engagement while also staying current and relevant as well. So chances are you're listening so far as well, and you're thinking you're potentially a little bit overwhelmed. The plethora of content options and distribution networks and how to build your audience and how to actually build those personas in the first place. And especially when budgets are running tight, this is, again, a crucial time to actually focus on the marketing channels that have proven to be the most effective for your business. And this is where data analytics does come in really handy. Matched with that ideal customer persona that we've worked through already and that customer purchasing story that we've walked through as well, that's where it becomes really essential, because it's going to help you prioritize the channels that are actually making a direct impact on your business, and you can focus on those and focus not so much on the channels that aren't really making a direct impact on your business. Just because TikTok, for example, is popular right now, does that mean that you and your business need to be on there? If your ideal customer is consuming your type of content there, absolutely, use TikTok. But if not, don't spread yourself so thin. If resources are stretched already, make sure you're actually identifying your most effective marketing channels. And again, this means looking at your data to see which channels are driving the most traffic, the most leads, and obviously the most conversions with your ideal customer. And this is where tools like Google Analytics can be incredibly helpful, actually understanding those KPIs and those metrics. We had a client in the B2B software space who was spreading their budget thin across multiple different channels. We spent time digging into their data, looking at their content and what content was actually resonating. We found that LinkedIn was by far their most effective channel for lead generation, but a very little amount of the budget was actually being spent there. It wasn't only getting the most engagement, but the data was clear that it was actually converting the most potential clients as well, And it just happened to be directly correlated to that buyer persona and that buyer purchasing story that we worked through earlier. And so by reallocating more of their budget and their resources to LinkedIn and optimizing their approach there, what we could actually do is increase their lead generation by 150% without increasing the overall marketing spend. So what I'm going to get you to do is, before exploring and thinking about new channels and jumping on a fad or allocating more resources to platforms, different platforms, I suggest again, you go back and you focus on optimizing your existing ones and making sure you're optimizing your existing ones based on that audience persona, making sure you stay really niche and really tight on where your ideal customer is hanging out. And that's why it is so important to obviously go back and to build that customer persona. So look, just to recap a little bit about what we've covered so far, what I want you to do is think about how you can refine your messaging while focusing on your ideal audience. Think about improving your targeting across those channels while focusing on your ideal audience. And then enhance your content quality, again, while focusing on your ideal audience. And obviously you can see the pattern. The main message that we want to get across in today's episode is really to focus your content on that ideal audience. So here's some of these key strategies we've discussed and some of the actions I think you need to take right now if you don't have some of these items that we've discussed today embedded into your marketing strategy. The first is really to go back or to start developing a deep understanding, a deep connection of your audience through building out a detailed buyer persona, like really detailed, going through those points that we worked through before. Then making sure and reviewing your content, your content flow and the content that you've got coming out shortly. Tailor that content and tailor your unique messages to focus on responding with your ideal audience. So all those unique messages must be directly attributed back to that ideal audience. And then the third thing is focus on and optimize your most effective marketing channels. I don't want you to be everything to everyone, everywhere, because you simply won't get ahead. So again, focus on and optimize your most effective marketing channels with that tailored content that we've spoken about and with that deep understanding of who your audience actually is and how you're going to resonate and get through to them. Because remember, audience-centric marketing isn't just a short-term tactic. It really is a long-term strategy that can actually help you build a lasting relationship with your customer. But by truly understanding and catering to that audience, you can then make every marketing dollar count, even if budgets are feeling really tight right now. We'll see you on the next episode.